All right, and welcome to the theory of creativity. This is the theory of exercise. Um, we are pretty much headed towards these are pretty much our twilight podcasts, right?
Yeah, you can't see it, but I'm dancing.
I think that the audience can feel your
They can.
cringe-worthy dancing. But exercise is something we are both very familiar with. Um, we are very strong and very very fast too,
Strunk.
and fast. Yeah,
Strunk and fess.
yeah, strong and fast. We are actually thinking about competing in the 2020 Olympics, right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The Winter Olympics were
2020.
2020. Oh no, it's every 4 years. Okay, sorry. We have the Winter Olympics right now. Yeah. So I think I am going to compete as a cross runner.
Cross runner.
Yep.
Good luck with that.
It's like a cross-dressing runner.
Is that a real event? Cross running?
It is now.
Because there's like I'm thinking of like CrossFit and just like running, right?
It's like every 100 steps you have to do like 16 jumping jacks and then 3 push-ups and then yeah, that's cross running. What event are you gonna compete in?
I'm going to try to make curling a summer event. I think I'll definitely be ready for that by then. So.
It's such a popular sport. I don't know why it's not in every Olympics.
I guess to brush the ice. All right. Interesting sport. Exercise though. Do you have anything that you want to bring up?
Like a routine. So I do like lots of yoga. I'm a yoga person, and I think that stretching is a very important part of the daily routine. I don't know. Like, it's just fun for me. It's relaxing. It's enjoyable. I like to run too, but I usually don't get time to run.
Yeah. Yeah. Bouncing off of what you said about stretching. Stretching is like something I think people often overlook, and if you don't stretch, it can really mess you up, and you don't want that because it could like prolong recovery time and stuff like that. But I would say yeah, I definitely like running. Reaching that runner's high is pretty great. And I would say as for like resistance training, I don't want to. I think like for like my like stature and stuff, like bulking up really
Would look
really
just
weird.
terrible.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're a pretty lean person, I think. Like, I don't know. You could probably like you'd be like a good marathon runner or like a triathlon competitor. I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Would you consider like meditation a sport?
I don't know. I'm not very good at meditating. I am terrible at just sitting down and like not moving and not thinking. Like I have to be doing something.
Well, the idea isn't not to think. It's sort of focusing your thoughts on one thing.
Oh, I guess like what I think about when I think about meditation is like the Tibetan monk thinking of like, reach the higher evolution of godly likeness, where it's like if you don't think you're closer to godliness. I don't know. I can't remember like what it was that they were following, but it was like if you can reach a state of mind where your mind isn't racing constantly, then you're like one step closer to being out of the realm of our reality.
For that's like years of training though.
Yeah.
And actually, you're familiar with Avatar,
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
Airbender, right? And they mention like for Aang to attain the Avatar state, he needs to be willing to relinquish all of his earthly attachments. So to reach enlightenment, it's be believed you have to relinquish your earthly attachments, and yeah, it's something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so meditation is a sport though. I don't know, like how do you compete? I feel like people who meditate wouldn't be like, I'm better at you than meditating.
Well, I don't think sports have to be a competition,
Okay, that's fair.
Wait, sports? No, exercise. Yeah, we're talking about
Oh,
exercise.
exercise. Yeah, I thought you said like a sport. Yeah, I mean, I definitely say because you're exercising your mind.
Definitely, definitely. And there have been studies to show that like meditation relieves stress and different things like that.
I heard this somewhere that said that people who connect to their breath in a way that they listen to it more than they feel their breath actually live longer. So like if you like listen to your breath more than you're like concentrating on the actual feeling of breathing, then you might have chances of living longer. I think it has something to do with stress and cortisol. How cortisol is activated in the brain during moments of stress.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's like stress for like long periods of time can kill you.
Yeah, give you ulcers, make your brain bleed.
Really? Yikes.
Yeah.
And make your like heart explode or something, right?
Yeah, like if you've ever seen, have you ever seen like an enlarged heart?
No.
I mean, there's like certain diseases that can do this too, but if you work your heart too much, because your heart's a muscle, right? If you work your heart too much, it can become enlarged and can actually kill you too. Because it becomes like muscles, when you work them out too much, they become stiffer, right? So like if your heart's stiff, it's not beating regularly like it should.
Yeah. And on another note, like I just like for like 2 months I kind of like stopped working out and just recently got back into it. And during that period off, like my muscles were atrophying.
Yeah.
And like I could feel like when I would like move a certain way, it would not feel great.
Would it like be
And, like,
sore?
No, like sort of like a crunch, not crunch, but like a knuckle pop kind of
Oh,
feeling.
yeah. Okay. Like tense and yeah.
And yeah, like my legs would like shake going downstairs and stuff. So yeah, it's not a good feeling to be weak for sure.
So like regularly, how often would you say that you exercise?
6 times a day for about an hour.
So 6 hours a day.
Not 6 hours a day.
You said 6 times a day for about an hour.
Yes, that's not 6 hours a day.
You said
6 times a day
Oh,
for an hour.
I thought you meant like each time you worked out for an hour 6 times a day. I was like, wow, that's more exercise than I've ever heard of. Okay.
Yeah, usually alternating like run for an hour and then like the next day would be like resistance training and things like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Did you mean 6 times a week, not 6 times a day?
Wait, I said 6 times
You
a day?
said, yeah, you did. You said 6 times
No,
a day.
no. Every day.
For an
wait,
hour.
No, 6 days. No, I said 6 days a week, right? I said 6 days a week.
You said 6 times a day.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Well, 6 days a week for an hour.
Okay. I was going to say, I feel like we don't really know each other that well if you work out six times a day, and I've not even seen you do anything. Like no jumping jacks, no get up and jog, no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of one thing to think about, like in your spare time. Like say you're just like waiting around for something to like load or maybe you're like making lunch or something. Like, do you ever just like think about like just working out, doing a couple push-ups in between that time?
No.
No, that doesn't, no.
You?
Yeah, I'll do yoga. Like, I'll stretch. Like, because I'll do that in public, too. People think I'm totally weird, but I'm, like, all about stretching when I'm waiting in line for something.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for your body to start tightening up again.
It does not. No.
And, that's why, actually, I was, like, working out during our trip.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, like, if I take a couple days off, it's going to take, like...
A week,
2-3 weeks for me to get back into it, so I just have to stay on top of it.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, I need to get back into, like, actually working out. But the thing is like I am a little bit scared of like getting into shape because it's cold. And if I lose all this fat on me, I'm just gonna be colder.
Well, I imagine that's similar to like me with shaving during the winter. Like it's noticeably
Is that really?
it's noticeably colder on my face. Yeah.
Wow. I've always wondered that. Like, how do you guys, like, how do you deal with it, you know? Like, I'm always cold on my face.
You should.
Girl.
Oh, they actually have you seen those like hat beards?
We should totally get some.
I can't fit one.
What? Oh, because your hair? You should email them and be like, hey, guys, I really want one.
I already have one, though.
But you have a beard, but you don't have a hat beard.
Well, this is a hat. This is basically a hat.
It's like a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, protect you from, like,
It's.
falling objects.
Do you think like this is actually like helpful against things hitting it? My hair.
I feel like it would bounce off a little bit easier. Like,
It's.
have you ever tried it?
Like throw stuff at my head.
Well, no, not like something like that, but like, I don't know. Like, do you like play with your hair, like how bouncy it is?
Kind of, but it's not as helpful as you may think it is.
No.
It's no substitute for a helmet.
No.
It's very. It's just it goes right through.
You're doing it yourself. All right. I don't know. For some reason, I'm like it's like Mojo Jojo, like how I said that you had like a brain hidden underneath there, just like a big old brain.
Right. Nah, regular size.
Okay, good to know. In case I want to take your head apart.
You should get a perm. You know, get your little afro going.
I don't know. I feel like I would not look good with an afro. I had cornrows once when I was a kid. They looked terrible. I had a friend, and she was really good at them too. And she did some cornrows on me, and they were super tight. And I got made fun of at school for them, so I took them out.
Yeah, they're pretty tight. Like especially around like for me, like around the back of the.
Have you ever had cornrows before?
Yeah. Usually I get them like I may keep them in for a day or so.
Yeah.
Just to, like hold the shape so my hair will like get like a certain pattern to it.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. I don't like the style. Like usually when I get them, I'll wear a hat. You never seen me with dreads, have you?
No, I've never. I didn't know that you had dreads at one point.
Yeah, for like 2 years.
I thought you had. I've only ever known you with like an afro.
Yep.
Good to know.
Exercise. Let's get back to that.
Yeah.
Oh, is there anything that you would like to do that you can't?
That I can't do. Like, are we talking about like physically because I haven't like prepped enough, or physically because it's just like impossible for me to do?
Because you haven't trained enough.
I think I would like to run a marathon at one point, but being an ex-smoker, I have a hard time breathing, so I would definitely need to train a lot before I decide to do that. I do also like hiking, so like I think at one point in my life I'd like to at least attempt to climb Mount Everest. I think that'd be cool.
Wouldn't that still be a challenge because of the altitude?
Yes, so I would have to train for that one as well. But like climbing mountains is such a refreshing thing. You get to see so much from up there. It's so beautiful.
I would say for me something that I want to do is like do arm push-ups, you know, like just like straight up off of
you
my
mean
feet
like
in the air.
Yeah,
Just
so
like-
like you're upside down and you're just like
Yeah, just doing push-ups like that.
have people done that before? That sounds dangerous.
And also just like be able to like do like flips and stuff.
That would be cool. Like I've always wanted to be like one of those weird you know, like circus people where they can like touch the back of their feet to like their nose.
That stuff looks painful.
It looks so relaxing though.
Really?
Yeah. Like, can you imagine just watching TV and like your feet are up above your head and you're just like da 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 da.
No.
That's like the life for me.
I don't. You're not supposed to bend that way.
Just being so flexible, but
there's
or a
there's a
pretzel.
limit. Yeah, there's a limit to how flexible one should be.
Well, I suppose so. I think it's easier for women. I think women are more flexible than men are.
Perhaps.
You'll have
Yeah.
more
Well.
muscle.
Yeah. Uh, but what you mentioned about the marathon. I have ran a half marathon. Probably could do a full marathon. Now, see, it like my thought process while doing it was like sort of like I was doing it, my body was moving, and just don't stop.
Yeah.
Right? Because like once you stop,
You can't get
yeah,
going again.
yeah, yeah.
So what was your goal? Like, was your goal originally to run the half marathon, or was it to run, or like to attempt to run the full marathon?
Well, the way that the thing was, you signed up like months, weeks in advance, so I knew that I was going to be doing the half marathon.
Okay.
Yeah. The next day, like maybe the next two days, my legs were like so sore I could barely walk.
I can't even imagine. Like, so did you like carb load the night before so that you would have enough energy to run that whole half marathon?
No.
Because there's like a lot of like, I guess like technique to running marathons. Like a lot of people I know like will eat like an entire bowl of pasta like a night before a marathon.
The night before, I mean, because like carbs are absorbed pretty quickly, right? So I would imagine like a few hours, not like the night before.
Really? I don't know. Maybe they do like a lot of carbs. Because, like, isn't it the carbs that are like, I don't know. There's something to do with like powering your muscles to allow your body to have enough energy. It's like not just the muscles, it's like your mitochondria or something. I don't know. I'm not that much of a biologist, but
I think I just had a banana or something. Yeah.
yeah. Did you throw up at all? I probably would have thrown up.
Well, you can't just like do it, right? You have to like sort of work your body up to it, right? Do some like training a little bit. Like I said, I run about an hour a day, or every other day, which a nice like comfortable jog, which would be about 56 minutes for me. So and the half marathon is about 13 miles. And in that 56 minutes that I run every other day, that's about 6 miles. So for that half marathon, I basically ran twice as much as I usually would. So
how long did you train before you decided to run the marathon?
about like 3 miles or half an hour every other day for okay, so the event was in September or October, I think, and so like for up until like August, I ran for 3 miles, and that last month I started running 6 miles.
Okay.
And yeah, so
Okay. I can't imagine running a full 26 miles.
yeah, that's
No, I probably would pass out. Have you ever seen what is that? A movie. It's like got Sean Pegg in it, and I think it's called Run Fat Boy Run, and like he's like a fat guy, and he like is trying to run a marathon for a girl, and he like gets to the marathon and like he hits that wall. Does it ever like
What
actually
wall?
happen? It's like it's a figurative wall, right? It's the wall of like you can or you can't do it, and I thought that was a really good metaphor for exercise and how it affects people.
did I have that during the marathon or just like when I
Yeah, so like I mean, a lot of people I think complain about running that it's kind of boring. So like was there ever like a point when it was like, "Oh my god, I so don't want to be here anymore."
for the half marathon or just like when I run?
Yeah, but either or.
I would say no. I would imagine for those people it's like stagnation, right? They're not pushing themselves,
Okay.
and so not for the half marathon for me, but just like when I run, I'll try to like every like five or so minutes, I'll increase the speed and increase the incline, and then by the time that the hour's up, I'm like on like 7 or 8 speed with like 3 incline. And I'm like really having a pretty hard time, but it's like still fun because
You're pushing yourself.
yeah, and also I like try to like match my footsteps with the music, so it's like a kind of a fun game that I'm playing with myself.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you like watch TV and stuff like that
no,
too? No. There's something else I was gonna ask. But oh yeah, so like, I know that there's like a difference between like running on a treadmill versus like running basically like on pavement.
Right. Yes.
Would you say it's easier on a treadmill?
Yes. I have had my fair share of like shin splints and stuff. It's not that painful.
It sounds painful.
It's more of like a sore, like a soreness feeling. But yeah, like running. I would prefer to run in on pavement, but it can be a bit rough on your like knees if you're not careful. So
that's rough.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I have anything else to say about exercise.
Well, what do you think about, say, like bodybuilders?
I don't know. I don't know what the goal is to be a bodybuilder. It's all aesthetics, really.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No.
That's for sure.
Like, if they were like actual gladiators, and like they wanted to like build the muscle so that they use the muscle, then I feel like that would be kind of cool. But you never see any of them compete because they can't use their muscle. It's not lean enough to work with any sports with.
It's not practical. No,
you don't see any gymnasts like buff on steroids or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not practical.
And it's probably like very hard to impossible to get to achieve that body, right? So they're probably like taking HGH or steroids or something.
Yes, they have to. There's no other way around it if you want to build that kind of muscle.
And then the side effects that come from that, I guess they think it's worth it, I guess.
I don't know. You know what? I'm not gonna judge them for their personality, but y'all can't use your muscle. That sucks. Like some of them can't wipe their own butts. So.
Well, some might argue that that's a good thing, and you have someone to wipe it for you, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, so I think the real goal is though, like, for exercise is to like by the age of like 70, you at least want to be able to get up and walk around your house yourself.
Oh man, I'm glad you brought that up because there's this old Asian guy that in my neighborhood that's always like running. Like he's pretty old. I don't know how old he is, but he's quite old, and he's always like running and like lifting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we should all strive towards. We don't want our bodies failing us in our old age, right?
No, I mean the goal is to live as long as you can, right?
And as well, I think
yes.
Quality of life is like really important. I think.
I'd much rather die earlier in life with a decent body than later in life without like
suffering and pain.
Be stuck in a bed. God, that'd be terrible. Because then you would have no choice but to have other people take care of you. Mm-hmm. No independence.
And then you would still get your butt wiped. So maybe it's worth it. Who am I to say?
Yep. I guess it depends on where your priorities lie.
I think that's about it for this podcast. Thanks for listening to the Theory of Exercise with Garrison and Sarah. Please come back next week with another podcast that I don't know.
I don't know either.
But just stay tuned and you will find out along with us. Peace.
Bye-bye.